So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Hang on just a second. I forgot to tweet the link, so give me a moment. What I'll do is I'll replay that while I'm. Okay, one more. Oops.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Who's in the room with me? I see a couple people here. How was your week? And also, can you hear me? Hey, Astrid. How was your week? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, what should I start talking about first, since this is like a free for all? Oh, wait. A couple more. You ready for the AMA? Yes, loud and clear. AMA, American Music Awards? Is that what you mean? Because I don't really follow award shows. So let me know. It's just, it has been busy moving to another state. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I've done that before. That is a big undertaking. Very, very big undertaking. I've moved states several times. CSN says, hi, Leishasha, how are you? I'm doing okay. How was your week, CSN? Somi says, ask me anything. Are you saying that I should ask you anything, or are you telling me that that's what the subject should continue to be ask me anything? Hey Marty, thank you again. I really appreciate you. Marty is awesome. And thanks for staying up this late. By the way, are you guys checking out Marty's channel? It's been a minute since he made one, but he did a lot of these really cool stop motion animations. CN says it's been lovely. I'm glad to hear that. That's some positivity today. Tony T says, hello, everyone. How was your week, Tony T? While they're typing, man, today, I feel like I got something in my lip gloss. Today has been interesting because we had a heat advisory earlier in the Orange County area of Florida. It was 98 degrees. Yesterday was 99 degrees, but today was 98 degrees. And then we had a small, seemed like a regular thunderstorm, but the temperature just dropped to the 70s. Like it went from 98 straight down to the 70s. Oh, AMA has asked me anything. However, you can ask me anything. Okay. Okay, then we'll do that. To ask me anything. All right. I'll be interested to see what kind of question. While you're typing, I left my watch up here. I did go to was it Dollar General or Dollar Tree? It was Dollar Tree. I found this DVD at Dollar Tree. Never heard of this movie before, but it's called Chinese Speaking Vampires. And I figured it's worth $1.25. I'll check it out. I don't know if anyone has seen this movie, let me know. But just the name alone, I'll put it closer. Chinese Speaking Vampires. Tony Man says 98 with a feel like temperature was 112 outside. Yeah. The humidity. Well, you can see by my hair the humidity. My hair is drawn up like tight. My week has been good. Too hot to do anything outside. Just been watching films. Yeah, same here. Meant to say I tagged yourself, Kara, of Horror Retrospective and Night Watch in Sean Earscan John Carpenter's tag, but no obligation or likes if you want, just for fun. Okay, I'll check that out. I didn't happen to see that, but I'll look for it. I like John Carpenter. Has anyone seen Fresh? I'm wondering if it's worth a watch. Yes, I have seen Fresh, and I reviewed it. Maybe a month or two ago. Whenever it came out, I reviewed it. It depends. I think that it's a good enough movie for a TV movie. I would not have paid to see it in a movie theater. It's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it wasn't excessively good either. I think it tried to do a little bit of social commentary, but it failed because it didn't really commit to it. It was kind of like a half-assed social commentary. And I'm like, either do it or don't do it. Don't dip your toe in it like you're trying to ride a trend, because that's what it felt like. It felt like they were trying to ride a trend, not really have anything very strong to say. Or it could be a breakdown between the writer and the director, because I didn't happen to catch whether the writer and director were the same person. So sometimes the writer may have intended more and the director, pussied out, so to speak. Tony T says, do you think Robert Englund is going to do Blumhouse deal for one more film as Freddy? I don't know. I had heard that Jason Blum felt that he could be the person that could convince Robert Englund to come back. But I think let me see, how old is Robert Englund? Let's check. Because I know Tony Todd is still working. Robert Englund. Well, Robert Englund is still working too. Like he was in Stranger Things just recently. Age. Yeah, he's 75 years old. So what they might do... they might do like how they did in Halloween, where there's more than one person playing Michael Myers. They have a younger stunt person for the more physical parts of the script. So they might do that with Robert Englund. Still have him play Freddy, but have a younger stunt person for anything that's more physical. Social commentary should go hard or go home. If you half-ass it, then it's just pandering. Yes, exactly. You're just acting like you have something to say, but you're not fully committing to it. And it's like, miss me with that. All right, first question. If you're attacked by 100 zombie toddlers, how many can you get through before you're overwhelmed? Store wall to your back and you only have a mop handle. That's 100 of them. I think I'm good for taking out 25, only because I was a majorette and I know how to twirl a baton, I know how to twirl a mop. And I think a twirling maneuver might help. Oh, you think you could get 30 to 35? Toddlers they're wily. What else happened? On my day off yesterday, I went to the park, saw an alligator. He was just chilling in the water. Do I still have? I might have taken video. I'm pretty sure I did. It might be a still photo because I know I pulled out my camera, but let me see. Here we go. There he is, chilling in the water. It's a still photo. And I have a little video of the park. Of course, me being me, my fingernail is in front of part of the camera. But you can see the water moving and the alligator is doing dead ass nothing, just sitting there, staring at us. And this is a nature preserve. Let me see if there's any audio. Yeah. It was pretty quiet. Yeah, you could just hear the birds chirping. That's it. That was relaxing. I needed that. Are any of you going to see Nope? I hear, if I'm not mistaken, it came out this week, right? I think that's this is the week that I had it on my calendar for coming out. Although I've been inundated with how often are they going to keep showing us those black phone commercials and TV trailers. I'm like, you're making me not want to see it because you're beating me over the head with it. Let me see. Nope. Release date. Yeah, July. Oh, it's not till next month. I thought it was June 22nd. I don't know why I thought it came out June 22nd and not July 22nd. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Tony says, would you rather spend 4 days at the Amityville house or the Ju-on house? Amityville, definitely. I'm not. You wouldn't make it 4 days in the Ju-on house. You know what Kayako does to people? You're not making it 4 days in the Ju-on house. Do you like sci-fi films from the 50s? My favorite is Tarantula. I like I'm thinking of most of the sci-fi movies I'm more familiar with would probably be from the 60s instead of the 50s. Yeah, I'm thinking they're more from the 60s and the 50s. I don't think I'm super familiar with sci-fi from the 50s. But of the older sci-fi movies I like, they usually cross over from sci-fi to horror, like the original The Fly, the original The Blob, and I think these are 60s movies, not 50s movies. Robot Monster might be a 50s movie. That might be a 50s movie. Let me look it up. When did Robot Monster come out? And that's just likable because of the creature design, because it's so ridiculous. 1953. Mm-hmm. Astor says Ju-on house. Astor, you'd rather stay in the Ju-on house than the Amityville house? I feel like I could last a couple days in the Amityville house. I don't think I'd last one afternoon in the Ju-on house. Okay, Marty says, if you could place your consciousness into an identical cybernetic body and be immortal, would you? P.S. You can attach any weapon on your arms. Oh, wow. That's almost like ask me if I want to be a supervillain. I would say no, because I don't want to live forever. I don't know why people are so hot to prolong their lives. Maybe it's just the manic depressive in me that's like, yeah, when it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I don't need to stay longer than is necessary. Would you rather who would you rather stalk you, Freddie, Myers, Jason, or Chucky? Who would I have a fighting chance with? I'm going to say I have a fighting chance the most with Chucky. Yeah, because at this point, all four of them are supernatural. Myers and Jason didn't used to be supernatural, but they became supernatural. So all four of them are supernatural, but Chucky is still a damn doll. So I'm gonna have to say Chucky, although he's super smart. Tony Man says, "I would, Marty. I'd be evil. Yeah, you would love to have a robot arm that has um some type of weapon on it. Think I'd go a chaotic neutral stance. What are you guys thinking about the black phone? Are you excited to see it, or are you like ambivalent like I am? Because the thing that's turning me off is how they keep on saying, oh God, what did they call it? A masterpiece. Whatever new movies say a masterpiece, I'm already like, you're putting 20 on 10, and I don't believe you. The movie maniac says, "Hiya, Lady Shasta. How are you, movie maniac?" And you already saw it. So what did you think of the black phone? Is it a masterpiece, or are they overreaching? Because I think that that's not necessarily a good thing, um, because people can go in it and become really disappointed. Excuse me. Okay, groovy. I don't know what the rating is, and it's not going to compare to the sadness. Trash Picture Show says Ethan Hawke would be the only element to draw me to see it. Mm. No, it's good, but not great. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of like Hereditary, which was good. I enjoyed it. I just don't think it's. I think there's a lot of great things about Hereditary, especially Toni Collette's performance. I think that's one of the best things is Toni Collette's performance, but it's not, the all-time masterpiece that I think. I have not heard good things from the Black Phone. Hmm. And I had a feeling whenever you over pump a movie, people are going to be disappointed if it doesn't live up to those accolades. It's better for you to just say that it's thrilling or that it's suspenseful in your advertising. Just say it's thrilling, it's suspenseful, it has a great story, something that is still saying something positive about the movie, but you're not over pumping the movie. I'm trying to think what else came out soon. Oh, they them. Yeah, they them does look interesting. It says a slasher at a Christian conversion therapy camp with Kevin Bacon. Yes, I'm actually. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm more interested in seeing they them. I think that's going to come out on Peacock, if I'm not mistaken. The Movie Maniac says the Black Phone is like a 3.5, maybe 4 stars. Still solid. So that's cool. That's good to know. I still haven't seen that movie you just said. Are you talking about they them or the Black Phone? Or earlier we talked about Fresh. Which movie are you talking about, Tony Man? This is still too late. Turn it down. X, I did see X. I am working on a review for that. I will say I enjoyed it. I don't think it was, amazing, but it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. The last film that I saw in the theater that I considered a masterpiece was Doctor Sleep. Hmm. Dr. Sleep was good, and I really like that. Which this is sad to say, but I think that's the first film that I can recall in recent history where there was a girl of color as the main protagonist. Like that almost never happens in horror movies that aren't like completely a complete black cast. So it was cool to see. Like even growing up as a kid, I can't think of any little girl character that happened to be a girl of color that was the main character in a horror movie. They Them is on Peacock. Is it currently on Peacock? Did it come out already? Have you seen the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Yes, and I reviewed it because I remember specifically saying that it finally gave us an actual chainsaw massacre. All the other Texas Chainsaw Massacres have been singular, well, I should say multiple killings in a day, but not quite a massacre. This was an actual massacre. I appreciate it more on the second watching than the first, because the first watching I thought the characters were really annoying, and they are like these archetypes for like hipsters. But upon rewatching it, I think that we're not supposed to like them. I think that is written in a way that we're not supposed to like them at all. Tony says, you compared the Black Phone to a movie, and I don't remember the name you said. Oh, I think I said Hereditary. As far as the advertising, not the storyline or anything, but when they were doing the advertising for Hereditary, they did the same thing. They were calling it, the most amazing film of the year. It's a masterpiece. It's this, it's that. And when you do that, you build up such a great expectation that it's hard to fulfill that. The movie meeting says Dr. Sleep was excellent. Okay, thanks. I didn't care for X. I got what it was going for, but I felt it missed a mark. I think the one thing that I would say would have improved X, I mean, before I do my review, it was too long. It didn't need to be any more. You're making a slasher movie. You don't need it to be any more than 85 to 90 minutes. We didn't need all this extra like 40 minutes of getting to know these porn star characters that we don't care about because we know they're just going to get sliced and diced. Friday the 13th movies understand that. That's why it's like 10, 15 minutes, if that, before the killing starts, because those movies understand we don't care about these individual characters. We're here for the kills. What's his name? I don't know why I'm blanking on the director's name. Ty West. He's the writer, director, producer, which is part of the problem, because sometimes you need somebody to rein you in. Sometimes you need an extra producer to say, hey, why don't we trim this down a little bit? I think Ty West needs that. He got away with it in House of the Devil, but that was the style of movie. Those type of supernatural movies of the 70s, they were a super slow burn, so it works with that. You can't apply those same rules to a slasher movie. Nobody goes to see a slasher movie for a slow burn. Also, one dude, it just seemed like he was doing a Woody Harrelson impersonation. They Them's out August 5th. Okay, so it's a while before that comes out. I wonder why they delayed the release of the Black Phone like 4 months. Probably because they wanted to make sure that they could get it in theaters. They were probably going back and forth with the distribution companies to see, or also when they go back with distribution companies, it could be a bidding war where Amazon is offering this amount, Netflix is offering this amount, Shudder's offering this amount. And if they think that they can get more by releasing at the movie theaters than straight to streaming, then that's probably what they did. Have you seen Phil Tippett's Mad God on Shudder? It's Eraserhead meets Terminator. Oh, it's Ray Harryhausen did that? Yeah, I do know, because I did say in a previous live stream that it's the same person that did the effects for RoboCop and RoboCop 2. Especially, I love that sequence RoboCop 2 with all the rejected Ed 209s. That's one of the best sequences. But I didn't know that his last name was also Harryhausen. Is he the son of the wasn't there another Harryhausen that did Harryhausen? Is that the same? Oh, it is the same one that did Clash of the Titans. I thought it was his son. Wow. Because he was born in 1920. That's why I just assumed that it was his son that did this and not him. It's still him. Wow. But if y'all remember the original Clash of the Titans from the 80s, he did the stop motion for that as well. I confused Hereditary with Midsummer. I liked Hereditary. I love the use of Don't Fear the Reaper. But then again, I love that song. Oh, you mean X. You're saying Hereditary, but you mean X. Hereditary was the one with the mother. Well, that's a spoiler. It's a family drama, horror, satanic type of story. No, Phil Tippett. So wait, but the effects are as good as Harryhausen. Okay. So that's why I was confused, because I was like, okay, so Phil Tippett is the person that did the effects for RoboCop and RoboCop 2. Harryhausen is the person that did the effects for Clash of the Titans. And I don't know why I was confusing them. But yeah. Anyways, it's good stop motion. I did see the trailer for it. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. So hopefully I'll get a chance sometime this weekend or sometime next week. There's so much I gotta watch and so much I gotta review and stuff. But the effects are as good as Harryhausen. Mm-hmm. Another question for you: would you rather have dinner with Hannibal or Patrick Bateman? I'm gonna say Patrick Bateman because Hannibal is gonna try to eat me. Patrick Bateman might show you a good time before he kills you. I think I love Midsummer more than Hereditary. I would label both movies as emotional horror. That is a great term. Emotional horror. Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to think, which one do I like better, Midsummer or Hereditary? I think they're about even for me. Yeah, I think they're about even for me. The movie maker says, I just subscribed, didn't know you had a channel until this afternoon. I follow you on Twitter. Oh, really? Well, thank you for subscribing. I actually have 2 channels. The other one's Fashion Freak TV, but that's more like 90 Day Fiance stuff. Ash says, are there any movies that you hated but rewatched and loved? What did I dislike? Well, one of them I would say is X. The first time I watched X, I didn't care for it as much as I cared for it upon the rewatch. I think it's better the second time around, especially if you fast forward 30 minutes. If you fast forward 30 minutes, it's a great movie. It really is. But that first unnecessary 30 minutes where we're supposed to get to know all these people without really getting to know them, it's like you had 30 minutes, but you still didn't do hardly any character development with that 30 minutes. Have you seen Stage Fright, where the killer wears an owl fast? Yep. One of the best slashers. Yeah, the owl is attacking these actors that are rehearsing a stage play. Yeah, I've seen that a long time ago, but I've only seen it once. Wait, was Hereditary the one with the cop station with the backwards dude thing? No. That was Malignant. I think that was called Malignant. No, Hereditary. Know what? Let me share my screen. I'll show you the poster for it. Go to images and we'll see here. There we go, so I can see. There's the poster for Hereditary, and it stars Toni Collette. I don't remember this young lady's name, but here are some images from it. Yeah, I agree with these picks for movies that are like Hereditary. If I were to recommend movies to people who liked Hereditary, I would definitely recommend The Babadook, Rosemary's Baby. I'm not sure what this one is by here, but it might be Possession. It looks like, I think that's the actor from Possession. Marty says, I love that scene in RoboCop 2 where the one cyborg tears off his helmet to reveal the screaming skull and the other triggers happy suicide. Yes, that's the scene that I'm calling the Ed 209 rejects, because there's this whole sequence where they're showing all the failed Ed 209s they tried to, when they tried to copy RoboCop, and they were getting people from insane asylums and people off of death row and making them into cyborgs, and it didn't work. So he says, I still say that thing is a killer and talk about Nuke. While I'm waiting for other questions, I could talk about what I did today. And I went to Five Below. My life is so boring. I got a 3-in-1 charger. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna try it out because I can charge my my watch and my earbuds and my phone at the same time. It was only $5 or $5.95. So hopefully it works well. So that was pretty cool. In case it doesn't work, I also got this charging pad for $5. That was pretty cool. Hopefully this will work too. I'm going to put it by my bed. And then they had one of these. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but hopefully on Halloween, I'll have some fun with these lights. I'll have to play with them because, you know, lighting is not my strong point. You can see how horribly lit these live streams are. So hopefully I'll learn how to use some of that and we'll have a good time in October. Trying to dig up more questions. What is your favorite board game growing up? The first one I loved to play was Candyland. I remember that very vividly, playing Candyman. And here's where I'm going to show my age. Connect 4 was a lot of fun. This is like 80s stuff, if you're an 80s kid. But, Battleship. We used to fight over Battleship. Battleship was so much fun. I wonder if they still, I think they do still make it. I think they still make Battleship. That would be a lot of fun to play again. I mean, we don't think about the cultural aspects of it. Have you seen RoboCop, the TV series? It only did 22 episodes. No, I have not seen the TV series. Am I having a fever dream, or was there also a cartoon? I feel like there was a RoboCop cartoon. Actually, let me Google. Let's see. Yep, not a fever dream. Here it is, RoboCop cartoon. In 1988 to 1998. I don't remember it being on for that long, but I do remember there was a RoboCop cartoon. What famous director would you like to try their hand at doing a horror movie? Mine would be Scorsese. I would say, oh gosh, what is his name? It's just on the tip of my tongue. I was just talking about him on Wednesday. The heck did he direct? Seth Rogen. That's his name. I would like to see Seth Rogen do a horror movie. I think he could do it. In the same spirit as we've seen Homeboy that directed Halloween, and Jordan Peele. Who else was in comedy before? The director that did A Quiet Place. He was also more of a comedic actor. But yeah, I would like to see Seth Rogen do a horror movie, specifically a slasher movie. It needs to be a slasher movie, not supernatural. Would you rather live in a house from The Haunting of Hill House or American Horror Story Murder House? The Haunting of Hill House, because those ghosts really didn't hurt anybody as much as they just popped up and scared you, but they didn't really hurt anybody. Love Connect 4, and yes, we still stock it, and Battleship in the toy store I work in. There was also a Rambo cartoon and an unaired Aliens cartoon. Wow. Aliens is so inappropriate for a cartoon. Well, RoboCop was inappropriate for a cartoon, but we loved RoboCop as kids. Like let me think, I was about 10 years old when RoboCop came out. No, I loved it, even though it wasn't for kids. Hey, Night Owl, how about I Want to Bite Your Finger, the game? I haven't heard of that game. The closest we had to biting anything was Hungry Hungry Hippo, and we used to play that a lot too. Lordran says, "Hey everyone, hey Lordran." Ash says, "Why are there no Are You Afraid of the Dark type shows for children?" There is. Well, I think these are good for children. There are these shorts. They're probably like 20 minutes long on Netflix called Two Sentence Horror Stories. I think those are kind of kid friendly. A lot of them are. They're just scary enough to give kids a fright, but for an adult, you'd never be afraid of it. I think those are good, but I don't think that they advertise them towards kids. They should have a new Are You Afraid of the Dark type show for kids. Lorden says Are You Afraid of the Dark has returned to CBS. Ah, let me see. Is this the new one? Let me see here. Yep, here it goes. That's the new one. I guess it restarted up in 2019. Oh, that looks good. 44 minutes long are the typical episodes. Those hands that reached up and grabbed the kid through the bed, that was creepy. Yeah, that's creepy. Let me stop playing this before I get dinged for copyright. Okay, more watch options. It says Netflix. I didn't see any ads for this on Netflix. Okay, season 1 is on Netflix. Seasons 1 through 7 are on Nick Hits. Paramount has seasons 1 through 5. Okay, so I can check some of these out. Lorden says Paramount Plus. Is the show any good? Astrid asks, and Lorden says it's real good. Well, from what I saw the trailer, with them arms come up and pulled the kid through the bed, and also when he was looking at the cell phone and zoomed in on the image and saw the creature behind him, those are things that are creepy. Are you looking forward to the Willow sequel series? Yes, I am, because I saw Willow several times in the movie theater when I would think I was about 12 years old. It was during the summertime because I remember I felt like a big kid because my grandmother dropped us off at the movies and I was able to go in with, it was me, my younger sister, and my cousin. And we thought, oh, we're big kids now. We don't have to go to, you know, movies with adults. No, it was not Willow that I saw multiple times. I saw Willow once in the movie theater. It was Who Framed Roger Rabbit that we ended up seeing multiple times. I don't know if that was the same summer or the following summer. Would you rather have to deal with Annabelle or Chucky messing with you? This has nothing to do with your dolls. Well, yeah, because let me bring this back. As you can see, they're both here side by side. I just need the Tiffany doll. I need the Tiffany doll to be right in between them. But still, I'd rather deal with Chucky than Annabelle because Annabelle, all she does is like sit there and summon demons. And how do you fight the demons that she summons? Like if you're not Ed and Lorraine Warren. That's a great font. The Are You Afraid of the Dark has a nice font to it. May I ask you guys some questions? What was your favorite horror movie growing up if you were allowed to watch horror movies when you were a kid? And hang on just a second. I'm about to switch to the other router. So it might black out for a second and then come back on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Marty says Evil Dead 2. I like that one too. Dead by Dawn. Especially when I was a teenager. I loved Evil Dead 2. Would you rather direct or star in a horror movie? I'd rather star because directors have so much to do. They have so much they have to pay attention to. And I feel like I would not be able to pay attention to everything because you have to coordinate the acting, you have to coordinate the lighting, coordinate with the lighting coordinator, the sound engineer, the props department. There's so much that you would have to oversee as a director. Whereas an actor, you mostly have to focus on your performance. But one thing I would prefer if I was an actor, I'd want to be a creature with like some type of special effects makeup on me. Astrid says Nightmare. Tommy says Hellraiser, The Howling, and Motel Hell. Tony T says my favorite horror film growing up was A Nightmare on Elm Street 2. That's a good one. I was just arguing with my sister again about that because she does not like Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I think it is a solid sequel, and I've always liked it. And she makes fun of me for liking Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and she makes fun of me for liking The Howling 3, the Marsupials, because I love both of those. Watch, next year I'll probably be popping for everybody else to like The Howling 3, and then all of a sudden people will say, oh, they always liked it when they really didn't. Night of Living Dead. I saw it the worst way, raining and lightning outside. Oh, yeah, that would be creepy. Night Owl. Hey, welcome to the stream, Night Owl. Night Owl says Poltergeist, Friday the 13th, Part 3, Creep Show, all the Freddy stuff. Those are great picks. I enjoy all of those. Poltergeist I saw at a drive-in theater for the first time, and then I caught it again on video when I got a little bit older because I am the exact same age as Heather O'Rourke, who played Carol Ann. So imagine me being Carol Ann's age in a car watching Poltergeist. That's how little I was. It's wild. Oh, I skipped over one. LeVar Hicks. Hi, LeVar. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. How was your week? I've asked everybody how was your week. Same this question to you, Night Owl. How was your week? Night Owl says, I'm old, had the Dream Warriors door-sized poster when it came out. Oh, that is nice. I would love to have that poster. You're being targeted by a Terminator in a military installation. There's a xenomorph and a predator in separate holding cells. Which do you let loose to take out the Terminator to help you escape? I'm going to say the predator only because the predator, like when the first Alien versus Predator with Sonya Lathan, the predator understood her. The xenomorph, you can't cooperate with the xenomorph. Like, yeah, the xenomorph might take out the Terminator, but then it's going to turn around and take you out, which could happen with a predator, but at least you have a negotiating chance with the predator, whereas there's no negotiating with the xenomorph. Then it might, have a face hugger with it, and then you become impregnated, and it's all a whole thing. I don't want to go through all that. Night Owl says, me too, 1975. Hey, Faux Monkey Latte. How was your week? Faux Monkey Latte says, hey, my fave was Dr. Giggles. I like Dr. I need to rewatch that as an adult. I have not seen Dr. Giggles since I was in high school. And I just remember him holding that arms up, waving the dismembered arms. Predator loves the challenge to take out a Terminator. Yeah. Someone needs to make that movie. Like, you're making these team-up movies. You're not teaming up the right creatures. I mean, the Alien vs. Predator was a good idea and concept because of that whole Easter egg from Predator 2, which is another sequel that I enjoyed. A lot of people crap on. So the three sequels that I enjoy that people crap on: Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Predator 2, The Howling 3, The Marsupials. Those are better than what people say they are, in my opinion. Astra says The People Under the Stairs, which is a great movie, and it gets greater the older I get. Because when I was younger, again, here's another character that's the same age as me. The little boy that played Fool, he's the exact same age as me. So when I saw the movie at that age, I could completely relate. But as an adult, I can see all the subtext written within the movie. And it's very, very cleverly done. You said you love to wear special effects makeup. If you were in a Star Trek episode, what alien race would you portray? I would probably go with a Klingon. Yeah, because like before that, the first thing that popped in my head was Ferengi, but I feel like the Ferengi makeup might be too heavy. There's well, it wouldn't be too heavy because they would probably use a foam latex for that headpiece. But I still like the clothing that the Klingons wear. So yeah, I would go to Klingon. Anybody else notice how funny it is that there was an alien species on Star Trek called the Cardassians? And this is before the reality TV Cardassians became, I don't know why I used air quotes because they are, that's their real name. But before they became famous, Star Trek, well, in the Next Generation, I don't know if they had them in the 1960s version, but in Star Trek The Next Generation, there was an alien race called the Cardassians. I just thought that was hilarious. Oh, Fominky Latte says, my week was good. I'm glad to hear that. Tony says he didn't understand her. He warped Lathan to the Arctic in a tank top. Well, he wouldn't have known that the humans would be super cold, but he ended up respecting her and giving her the little scratch on her cheek as a warrior. There have been so many Jaws ripoffs, but the best one is The Last Shark 1981. And when it was in theaters, Universal took that film down and buried it. Oh, hold on. Let me write this down because it seems like a movie that I got to look for. There's also another, might be an Italian film called Cruel Jaws that I want to look for. So, The Last Shark, 1981. I'm writing hidden. And then Cruel Jaws. That might be a good double feature. Tonyman said I'd be a Borg. Oh, yeah, that would be pretty cool, too. Night Owl says, anybody remember the Jaws game? Do you mean like a video game? Because I have not heard of a Jaws game, but I'm assuming it might be a video game. Or it could be a board game, because Jaws came out in the 70s, so maybe it was a board game. Hey, gotta dust off and ring Jen before I hit the hay. Fun hanging as always, your kick R's. There, I used R's for you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Have a good night, Marty. Tell Jen I said hi. Speaking of underwater movies, do you remember how many underwater? I made a list because no, actually, it'd be faster for me to pull it up on here. I made a list of all these underwater movies because I did not realize that they had all come out within like several years of each other. And I would love to do an underwater week. Wish my computer was a little bit faster. Oops, go back. No, this is what I. Pain in the behind. I'm going to go back to writing physical notes because whenever I try to pull up my notes in like Evernote or like Google Notes or something, it takes a long time. Whereas if I had written it down in just a regular notepad, I could have just pulled up my notepad and looked. Okay, here we go. I'll get back to the comments in just a second. I just want to say, because I had made, where did I put it? There they are. All within a few years of each other. It was Deep Star 6 in 1989, Leviathan also in 1989, Lords of the Deep in 89, The Evil Below in 89, The Abyss in 1989, The Rift in 1990, and then there was a break for a few years, and we got Deep Rising in 1998, Sphere in 1998, Virus in 1999, and then Below in 2002. It was like a whole thing to have these underwater movies. Okay. Astrid says, would you like Universal to to reestablish their monster universe? The new Invisible Man movie I felt was a great start to begin a monster universe. Yes, I would like to see them try again. I think if they get the right directors and they go back to trying to be scary like they originally were, it could definitely work. There was also, I think the first official start was like, was it Dracula Untold? And then that didn't work. So then they tried to restart again with the Invisible Man. But yeah, go back to making them, straight horror like they were before. And I mean, get the people who are redoing it anyways. Like if you've seen The Shape of Water, that's the creature from the Black Lagoon. It's literally the creature from the Black Lagoon, but the story has changed a little bit. But like Guillermo is telling you, I can do the creature from the Black Lagoon, so let him. Get Guillermo del Toro to do the creature from the Black Lagoon. John Landis is still directing, I think, right? Or am I mixing him up with? Let's see. Is he still alive? Just double checking. I want to say he's still doing like. Yeah, he's still alive, and it says he's still active. Yeah, get him to do the Wolfman. Who could do Frankenstein? No, he wouldn't. I think he would be too much of a wild card. My first thought was Eli Roth, but I'm like, nah, he likes to put too much humor. Now, Eli Roth would have given you a good Invisible Man. I think you could have done Invisible Man. Who would do a great Frankenstein movie? What director? What do you guys think? What director would make a really good new Frankenstein movie? Would you rather have visual hallucinations of Samara Sadako or Freddy Krueger? That is hard. Probably Freddy Krueger because Sadako scares the crap out of me. Not as much as Kayako. Kayako is, I don't know what it is about her, but she scares me more, even more than Sadako. Jaws being number one, CSN says. Yeah, oh yeah, Jaws would be, yeah, the official one would be Jaws, and then those other movies are kind of like copying it. You should do that during Shark Week on Discovery. That'd be great. Tommy says, by the way, your hair looks awesome. Thanks. Even though it's real drawn up from the humidity outside, and I didn't put anything in it but leave-in conditioner. But thank you. Also, Deep Blue Sea with LL Cool J. Yes, you're right. I didn't put Deep Blue Sea on that list. Deep Blue Sea should definitely be on that list. Rob Zombie's Frankenstein. Yeah, but he's gonna find some way to have rednecks yelling. I don't want that. I don't want Rob Zombie to do Frankenstein. Maybe who directed Dead Snow? Let me see. Who directed Dead Snow? I think they could do Frankenstein. Tommy Wirkola. Yeah, get Tommy Wirkola to do Frankenstein and get the director of get Thomas Alfredson, who directed Let the Right One In. Let him do Dracula. I'd like to see him. And when I say Let the Right One In, I'm talking about the Scandinavian version, not the American version. Yeah, let him do that. I think that would work. Right. He was maybe not as clunky as the original creature. The old creature was super dorky. Mm-hmm. The Mummy was supposed to be the one starting. I forgot. How about I completely forgot that movie existed? I completely forgot the Tom Cruise Mummy existed. And were you guys there for the youngins who were saying how much the original is so much better, but the original they kept on putting was Brendan Fraser, and I'm like, that's not the original Mummy. The original Mummy is from like 1930 something, and it was actually a scary movie. It wasn't an action adventure. Not to say the Brendan Fraser mummies aren't fun, but they're more Indiana Jones than a mummy movie. Let me finish reading this. Tony C says the Mummy was supposed to be the one starting the franchise again, but the film didn't go good. Johnny Depp was supposed to be the Invisible Man. Angelina Jolie as the Bride of Frankenstein. I think she still would make a good Bride of Frankenstein. Have you seen The Girl from Nowhere on Netflix? No, I have not. Is that a series or a movie? Donna Just Being Real. Welcome to the stream, Donna Just Being Real. She says, hi, host and chat. Horror rocks. Yes, it does. How was your week, Donna? I've been asking everyone as they've come through on the chat how their week was. If I miss somebody, I'm still asking you, so you can still answer if I miss asking you directly. Sam Raimi should do a Frankenstein. Sam Raimi Frankenstein. No, Sam Raimi should do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yes, I would love to see him do Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which people keep forgetting. They were also part of the Universal Monster family. The two that always get left in the past are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is one of my favorites. One of my favorite lines is when Hyde is like, is Hyde not a lover? I don't know why that's funny to me, but it is. And the other one they will forget is the Phantom of the Opera, which is also a Universal Monster. Donna says, Deep Blue Sea was good. Yes, it was. Here's a good one. Would you rather spend a night in the Bates Motel or a night in room 1408? Oh, that's a difficult one because I don't think anyone makes it out alive in either of those situations. I'm going to say maybe you'll be okay in the Bates Motel if you don't shower. No, it's sad. There used to be a Bates Motel and a house. It was like a replica house from Psycho at Universal Studios, and they got rid of it. They should have left it there. It was really nice to go walk over and see and take pictures of and take pictures in front of. I really like that. But maybe they'll bring it back with their new thing that they're building. I should show you guys what the plans that they have here. An expansion that's supposed to be kind of a takeoff on their Halloween Horror Nights. Oh, now it says 2 resorts planned for expansion. Well, let me see. Let's look at some images, see if I can pull some up. It's called Epic Universe is what they're planning to build. Let me see. Does this one have... Oh, this is just showing the hotel plots. That's not helpful. In Harry Potter Land. Do we really need more Harry Potter Land? Can we stop? There should be a section that should be horror year round. Okay, here's an image of it. While I'm pulling that up, let me read these comments. Oh, no, what? I shouldn't have done that. I got to share screen again. I clicked off of it by mistake. Home tab. There we go. Okay, so this one says, I lost respect for the mummy with the swimming mummies. That's the only part that was interesting. Girl from Nowhere is a series. I'll have to check that out. Write that down. Where's my pen? Because I won't remember that someone said that. And I'll be like later going, what was that show that somebody said to watch? Girl from Nowhere. Netflix. Okay. Okay, Donna says, my week was good. Thank you for asking. No problem. Thank you for coming through. I always appreciate it. Ice Cream Man was pretty funny and scary, along with Return of the Living Dead is like one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's so quotable. There's so many quotes. Someone told me about your channel, another horror buff. His name is Mafami Doom. Yes, Mafami is pretty cool. He usually comes through on the chat. Thank you. Shout out to you, Mafami, for letting people know about me. I appreciate you. Oh, I should say, Donna, usually I have topics that I talk about on the live stream. Like I usually do live streams about TV shows because there isn't enough time for me to do edited videos. But I do also have edited reviews of horror movies. And then today we're just doing a live stream about whatever, just for fun. Sam Raimi for The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I could see that, but I still want Guillermo del Toro to do it. Tony Man says 100 no. I mean, Astra says 2, Tony Man, 100 no. Donna says, host, what is your favorite 80s horror movie? You got one of them that was mentioned up thread. It was Return of the Living Dead, Creepshow, Poltergeist. What other 80s ones do I watch the most? Like my most rewatched movies are definitely Creepshow, Poltergeist, and Return of the Living Dead. Trying to think what else do I would be my top 5. Let me see, 2 more for top 5. Nightmare on Elm Street, definitely. And does it's like a tie between RoboCop and Predator. I'll just leave it tie, RoboCop and Predator. Like those are movies that I watch and rewatch and watch and rewatch and watch and rewatch. I love them. Oh, and a less mainstream one, The Toxic Avenger. I really love The Toxic Avenger. CSN, Return of the Living Dead was awesome. Mm-hmm. Here's a fun fact. Alfred Hitchcock's favorite film of all time was Smokey and the Bandit. Well, that's interesting. And Donna says, cool. What I was showing on here on the larger screen here is this is what they're planning for Epic Universe. And it's got all these water features here, but there was also a map. These are, let's see what's here. Let me zoom in on it. And we see Lowe's, Portofino Bay Hotel, Universal Studios is there, Hard Rock, Islands Adventure. This is the stuff that's already there. California Bay. And then these, Universal Orlando Resort is over there. Here we go. Here are the plans for back of house area. And let's zoom in. Everything in red is hotels. So we'll zoom in and see what is there. Wizarding World, Land Acres, How to Train Your Dragon, Super Nintendo World. Well, that one seems cool. I'd go to Super Nintendo. What is that? I can't read that. Something expansion. Mad Acres, Universal. There it is. Universal Classic Monsters Land. You see it? I mean, it's blurry, but it's there. Do you guys see that? The Universal Monsters Land? Donna says, Creepshow, great horror with laughter. Yes. Creepshow 2 is great. It's one of the best sequels ever made. We were just watching it the other day with the Thanks for the Ride lady. Fun fact, and I said this in my review for Tales from the Hood. The same guy that says Thanks for the Ride lady also plays that city council man that the crooked police officers set up and kill and send his car into the thing. It's the same actor, and it's in the same zombie effects as far as the special effects makeup on him. He's good. Says, would you consider Silence of the Lambs a horror movie or a thriller? I think the two things are not mutually exclusive. I think things can be both a horror movie and a thriller. That's also my argument that I make for Predator. Predator is a action movie, it's a horror movie, and it's a science fiction movie. A thing can be more than one thing at a time. Did you like Carrie, Prom Night, Terror Train, and My Bloody Valentines? Yes, I love My Bloody Valentines. Carrie is one of the closest movies from a book adaptation that I've ever seen. Like if you've read the novel Carrie, the only huge difference is just in how she looks. In the book, she's described as having dark curly hair and acne on her face. But that once you get over that, Sissy Spacek doesn't look like that, great. And they also left out some of the scenes with the doctors talking, because the book is told from past tense. It starts off with Carrie being institutionalized, and the doctors, or was it Carrie or was it her? Yeah, I think Carrie was institutionalized, and the doctors are trying to discuss like what went on, and then it keeps reading these files that retell the story. So it's like the whole book is like a flashback. But Carrie is one of my all-time favorites. Prom Night is great. We did a great review. Crystal and I did a review of Prom Night, and we paired it with what was it? It's a black movie that's on Netflix. That's basically a remake of Prom Night. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find it to show you guys. That's not coming up. That's so weird. It's not coming up when I search for it. What a pain in the ass. I have to change the tags. Playlists. And let's go to. Oh no! It might have been that we posted on Crystal's channel. Let me see. If it's not in this playlist, then it's probably posted on Crystal's channel. There it is. I just can't tell whether it's posted on my channel or her channel. This computer is so slow. It's irritating me. It is. It's posted on Crystal's channel. Okay. So that's why I couldn't find it. I was looking on my channel. I'm trying to look for the title of the movie. Because this was me and Crystal. We dressed up. That is not nice. This is when we were talking about.
So, if you guys haven't already guessed, our movies for tonight is going to be prom themed. We're going to be doing 2 reviews for you guys. Sasha's going to be reviewing the 1980s Prom Night, and I am going to be doing the remake of the 2008 Thriller. And you guys know how I feel about remakes, but we'll get into that. So, I know that it's going to probably take some of you guys by surprise, but I did not see the movie Thriller until I was prepping for the show.
That was the name of it. Thriller. It's a black. I don't know why I jumped through so many hoops to try to find the name of this Prom Night remake. It was on Netflix, and it was a pretty decent remake. Let me see if I can find a picture for it. All images. There it is. That's the movie Thriller, 2018. but it's pretty much a remake of Prom Night, and it's very, very good. Terror Train is good, and also My Bloody Valentine. I like My Bloody Valentine better than Terror Train, but I actually, one of the cosplays I want to do is a Vanity. I think it was Vanity that was on Terror Train. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to get to the other comments. Just bear with me. I want to say it was Vanity, but it could have been Abalonia. I always get them mixed up. No, it was Vanity. Here she goes. That's her in Terror Train. The same Vanity that was in Vanity 6 that used to hang with Prince. That's her outfit for Terror Train. And that's David Copperfield that she's standing next to, who incidentally plays a well, let me take this down so you can see better. He actually plays a magician. But yeah. Oh, that's a better picture of her. I would love to do that cosplay. Now that I look at that, the cups of that almost look like they're fur. Does it look like fur to you? It might be fur. I don't know. I have to watch it again. But yeah, I would love to do, if if I can't do this cosplay, this is what I'm gonna show up on camera as. This guy here with the nose. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, let me get back to the comments because I'm super behind. What was the last comment I read? I read My Blood Valentine. Tony Man saying, "Good evening, Mr. Pratt." Bugs, no, the thing is, Bugs got your tongue. That was great. That and Mr. Pratt's racism when he's all like, people of your kind do well in these types of jobs. People of color. It was like the racism just rolled off his tongue. It was terrible, but classic at the same time. Tony T says, do you prefer the original Twilight Zone series or the original Outer Limits? Twilight Zone. Definitely Twilight Zone. Better than Outer Limits. CSN says, must I say the Hitchhiker Creepshow 2 version can be one movie within itself? Yeah, it could. Donna says, CSN Creepshow 2 is awesome. I agree. Tom Wright, people. Is that the actor from that played the Hitchhiker on Creepshow 2? Is that his name? Mr. Dan is here. He says, hello, everyone. How was your week, Mr. Dan? I've been asking everyone that today. Ash says, what are some of your favorite Tales from the Crypt episodes? Trying to remember Tales from the Crypt episodes. It's been a long time since I've watched them. And the only one that I can think of, oh wait, I know my absolute favorite. I don't know the name of it, but it's this guy that goes to this Halloween party and he meets this girl that has a mask on. He goes home with her, and then he ends up wanting to get to know her better, and he tries to take her mask off and ends up scratching her skin, and it's not a mask, it's her real face. I don't know the name of that one, but I love that episode. That one sticks out to me the most. That's another one. I'm trying to think of another one that sticks out to me other than the Christmas one, which was a remake from the Tales from the Crypt. There was a 1970s Tales from the Crypt where they had the I think that one was called All Through the House, if I remember correctly. It was done in the 70s and it was done again in the 80s. Let me see. House. 1970. Let's see if I can get an image of the 70s one. Yeah. This is the one from the 70s. And you can see the Santa Claus in the window behind her. I think that might be the lady from Dynasty. Is that her? She kind of looks like the lady from Dynasty. That's the one from the 70s. And then the one that people are probably more familiar with is this one. from the new Tales from the Crypt. But there was a Tales from the Crypt anthology movie from the 70s that also had that one. I like both versions, which is rare. It's rare for you to like both versions. Orlando, Florida, I don't give a F if you decided to take the kids to Attica this year. There are still roaches in this place. I killed one not 5 minutes ago. Oh, well, they live outside. It's hard. The only way you can get rid of them in Florida is you have to have your yard treated, because they'll go outside, they'll live on your plants, and they'll come back in unless you get your yard treated for bugs. CSN says, who could forget Night of the Creeps also? Yes. We used to watch that. We had that on VHS. We watched that so much. And notice that I was talking to somebody about this the other day, about how a lot of newer movies, they like to pat themselves on the back for being inclusive. But we grew up seeing this in the 70s and the 80s. Franklin was in a wheelchair in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No one made a big deal out of it. It just was what it was. You also had a character that used a wheelchair in one of the Friday 13s. I think it might be 4 or it might be 3. I can't remember whether it's 3 or 4. And then in Night of the Creeps, there's a character that uses the mobility crutches. And no one made a big deal about these things. It just was what it was. And I thought that was cool. Night of the Creeps, CSN, good one, Donna says. And Tom Wright was whom Lady Shasha was referring to as the guy in both Creepshow 2 and Tales from the Hood. Yes. Thank you for posting his name. Tony Man says, finish this quote. Vero's luck always in. And how you spell that luck? B-A-D. Still, I gotta try. I know that it's from Creepshow. That's when he drinks the water, right? Because his father's like, Jordy, Vero, if you drink that, you're just as good as signing your death warrant. That, and when he was like, holy old bullshit. But that's not one of my favorite. See, that's a question you should ask me. What was my favorite segment of Creepshow? And you should know that is definitely, well, when I was a kid, my least favorite was the last one. It's eating you or something. The roach one was my least favorite when I was growing up. And my most favorite was Father's Day. And my most favorite still is Father's Day. But the roach one has come up to be probably my third favorite, because my second favorite is the crate. So Father's Day and the crate, those are the two that I pretty much have memorized. I was just there was a lady that I just compared. Let me see if I can play that video, because it shouldn't have any music behind or anything. But there's a lady that she just went viral acting a fool in the airport, and she sounded like Billy from the crate. She was yelling at her husband, and I said that's the real life Billy from the crate. This should be here. Here it goes. Watch when she starts yelling at this dude. And tell me she doesn't sound like Billy.
You look stupid and confused the entire time we're here. And it's cool.
There's something that's...
She should have just followed up with, spineless shit for brains. Like, she really was giving me those vibes. I'm going to fast forward through him talking.
20 seconds so far, but if this was me, it's over. I'm catching the first flight out of there and leaving.
Sorry, son of a bitch. Sorry, son of a bitch. I hate you for doing this to me.
Yeah, but anyways, she was reminding me of Billy from the crate in Creepshow. The way she was abusing her husband. Oh, Donna, thank you so much. I appreciate that, especially since I'm like almost makeupless. I say almost because I have dark circles around my eyes and I don't want to come on camera without at least putting concealer under my eyes so I don't look like the Crypt Keeper. But thank you. I appreciate that. I love that map Crystal made. Yes. She did. Crystal made the intro for our Coast to Coast horror. Did you see My Bloody Valentine in 3D? That was, yes, I did see it in 3D. I think I might have the DVD somewhere around here, but it's one of the better remakes, especially with the gore. Wow, I didn't know that was Vanity. Cool. Tony, she says, what's your favorite horror score? Mine is Creepshow and Day of the Dead. Both were done by John Harrison. Creepshow has an amazing score, and you can tell, like, if you've watched it as much times as I've watched it, you can tell what part of the movie is on based on the score. Some of my favorites are probably the Hellraiser score is amazing to me. The Exorcist score is great. Feel like there's one that's, Candyman. That score is amazing, especially Helen's theme. There's a part that's called Helen's theme that's really nice. The score, this is, I don't know whether you would consider this a horror movie, but the Running Man score is pretty amazing. Poltergeist, definitely Poltergeist, because there's like different parts of it. There's like the lullaby type part of the score, and then there's like the orchestral part where it's like when the tree's coming through the window. I feel like there's another one besides Poltergeist. For scores, I should have made a list. There was a list of horror scores. I wanted to do like a top 10. Ghostbusters has a great score, and Ghostbusters 2. And I will fight anybody who doesn't like the Bobby Brown's Ghostbusters song. That's one of the best. I'm not going to do the rap. I would have to have a couple drinks to do the rap. My week was a blur. Finally watched Hereditary, though. What did you think of it? We were just talking about Hereditary earlier. What did you think of Hereditary? All Through the House with Joan Collins. So it is the same woman from it's a Dynasty or Knots Landing. I feel like Joan Collins was on one of those shows, because I remember when I was a kid, there was these nighttime soap operas, and one was Knots Landing, one was Dallas, and there was a third one, Falcon Crest. There was these 3 nighttime soaps. I would love to watch those as an adult. I bet you they're juicy. What I have rewatched as an adult is Miami Vice, and it still holds up, in my opinion. Finish this quote. Holy Jesus, that's meteor shit. Yep. That must be your favorite segment from Creepshow. I think it's called The Lonely Life of Jordy Verrill. Is Shasha going to do her Aunt Bedelia impersonation again? No, I'm going to wait till Halloween. I'm going to wait till Halloween because I've already started my cosplay. I'm definitely doing Aunt Bedelia this year. I have to. Also probably drunk like Billy. Yeah, the guy, no, I still have it up. I have him talking about what happened. I'll play just a little bit of it. Whoa. He got on TikTok and said,
who was in the relationship with this Karen and lived to tell the tale.
Oh, by the way, shout out to Xenoshot.
So, like this is it. So I'm not going to be telling her name out of respect and legal reasons, to be honest. But so basically what happened is that me and my girlfriend at the time, we went to Ecuador because that's where I'm originally from. I'm not from the US. So I took her to visit my family back in Ecuador. And so that was on the flight back from Ecuador to San Salvador. And our flight got canceled. Well, it got delayed at first, but I knew it was going to get canceled eventually. Whenever we got called to the gate, I just realized she was drunk because she started screaming, she started being loud, started bothering other people. And so as time went on, it kept getting worse and worse and worse, and she wouldn't honestly stop. And then that's when the video starts, because we were...
Yeah, so she was drunk off her ass. I don't know. She must have been sneak drinking, because if you're traveling together, how did she drink without you seeing her? But that's beside the point. Let's get back to here. I mean, some of these so-called academics make the shark in Jaws look like effing Flipper. Is that another movie quote? And Flipper is about a dolphin. Oh, make the shark in Jaws look like effing Flipper. I misread that. Okay. Thoughts on I Saw the Devil? Are you talking about the South Korean film I Saw the Devil? where the guy, there was like this guy that he's like a serial murderer, but he also does essays to young girls, and he victimized this guy's pregnant wife. And so the guy, who I believe is either a detective or a police officer, hunts him down, but he keeps kind of like torturing him. Like he'll hunt him down, make him swallow a tracker, break his arm or leg. I think it was his leg he broke, and then let him go again, and then track him down again and beat his ass, and then let him go again, and then track him down and mess him up again. That was a great movie. I've seen that a couple times. If that's the I Saw the Devil, let me pull up the poster for it so you guys know. Is this movie right here, I Saw the Devil. This is the guy with the knife on front of his face is the either police officer or detective. I didn't catch like what level of policing he's in, but he's in some level of policing. If I remember correctly. And this is the murderer dude that he keeps hunting down and messing with. It's pretty good. Very, very intense and dramatic. There's the Spanish poster, Encontre al Diablo. This is the poster that I saw when I first saw the movie. This is the one I'm more familiar with, this poster, but I'm guessing this is the new poster or this one. This is a nice poster too. I Saw the Devil. Boss film. I'll leave it like that. Who can forget Ed Harris's dance with the arm up? Turn that down right now. Do you know I tried to look for that song? That disco song where they're singing Don't Let Go. It's not a real song. They only recorded 30 seconds just for that part of the movie. But they should have made it an entire song. I would have listened to it. George Romero was supposed to direct Pet Sematary back in '89, but he had to do reshoots for Monkey Shines. There's so many films he could have directed, but he had producers telling him he can't. Yeah, that sucks. That's one of the things that makes Creepshow so good is George Romero directing and Stephen King writing. Like that was a match made in heaven. That is great. And I think, George Romero doing Pet Sematary, what a missed opportunity. I mean, I'm trying to remember the director's name. I know it's a woman director. I can't remember her name, but I think she did a decent job. But I think George Romero probably would have done an even better job. Okay, I just scrolled too far and lost my place. Let me find her name before I move on, though. Give her flowers. Mary Lambert. I don't know why I couldn't bring her name to mind, but yeah, Mary Lambert. The reason why it stands out to me is it's not too frequent that you see female directors in horror, so I definitely wanted to highlight that. Dan says Joan Collins was also in a classic Star Trek episode too. Oh, I didn't know that. See, that's something my mother would have known because my mother has all the Star Treks memorized, especially the ones in the 60s. I liked Hereditary, Dan says. And Ryan, hey, welcome to the stream, Ryan Cannon. Ryan says Hereditary was awesome. It reminded me of Don't Look Now, which I like more. Yes, Don't Look Now is a classic movie. That's with I'm trying to think of the actor's name. I can picture his face, and I remember he was also in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 1978 or 79 version. What was that guy's name? Is that Donald Sutherland? I want to say it's Donald Sutherland. Night Owl says, I love that Tom Savini named the creature from the crate Fluffy. So cute. Also, he calls his crate from Tales from the Dark Side episode Inside the Closet, Lizzie. That's a great episode too. That Inside the Closet, that's the one, if I remember correctly, from Tales from the Dark Side, where the girl, I think it was a college student, rented the room from an old man in this old house, and it had this little closet, and this little creature kept coming out of the closet at night. Oh my goodness, you guys saw how this creature looks like. I'm gonna put Tales. That scared the heck out of me as a kid. And I think that episode of Inside the Closet is actually on YouTube. Yep. This is here goes the creature right here. That scared the heck out of me when I was a child. And there's the little closet where the girl was renting the room, and it had that little closet door, and this thing kept on coming out at night. That's a classic episode. Toteman says, I want my cake. Where's my cake, Bedelia? You want me to do Aunt Bedelia? I'm not going to do it. Where's my Father's Day cake? You dirty bitch. You bitch. You called me a bitch. Facilia fixed it all. I'm not going to do it. See, you almost got me to do it. I'm not going to do it. Aster says, why do you think Stephen King novels don't often translate well into movies? I think because they try to sanitize him a lot. A lot of stuff in his novels, they sanitize. And also, I think a lot of the production companies let their racism get in the way. Because Stephen King actually, with the exception of, I can't speak on The Green Mile because I didn't read that book, but in his other books, he's written pretty good Black characters. In The Shining, what's his name? Carruthers. He doesn't die. He saves the day. He saves the mother and the son and takes them down the mountain. In the movie, they kill him off. In the 1998, or was it 98? Yeah, I want to say it was 98 TV version of It was okay. But this new It, they completely screwed up Mike's character, Mike Hanlon. And they literally turned his family into, like, they were agricultural farmers who, by the way, there's a whole part of the book where Mike's father stood up to a racist neighbor who was like attacking their farm and actually killed their dog. And his father pulled a gun on him and said, you leave me and my family alone. He stood up for himself. And they turned Mike Hanlon's family into crackheads that died in a fire. And I'm like, why would you do that? There's also a part of the book, It, that talks about a place called the Black Spot, where in Maine, there was a bar where the servicemen would go to, because this takes place in the bars. The book spans the 20s to the 50s. And in the 1920s, it was still, even though it was North, there was still segregation. It just wasn't legal segregation. It was more social segregation. And so they had made this bar for the servicemen that were there that they could go to called the Black Spot. And they had great music there, and a lot of the white teenagers would go to that bar because they had great music. So the locals got mad because they didn't like the integrating, and they boarded it up while the people were in there dancing, and they set it on fire. That's part of the book, It. That's not in the movies. So I feel like Hollywood still needs to get over their racism if they want to make better Stephen King movies, because they don't do what they should. Sorry for my side rants. Ryan says, yes, I Saw the Devil is a South Korean horror film. Flipper quote was from The Crate. Shame on you. That's wild that I don't remember that. CSN, haha, that Ed Harris dance, Don't Let Go. I downloaded a song a long time ago. How? Because when I looked for it, all I could find was them saying that it was only a 30-second, or did you download the 30-second snippet? Because I read that it was not a full song, that they only made a 30-second clip for the movie. Chris says, I heard of this one, need to see it. And Chris, I know that you're familiar with South Korean movies. I noticed on one of Chris's co-hosts on Hood Podcast, by the way. So make sure you watch that on Monday, because on Monday we are going to be talking about Obi-Wan. We'll be talking about The Boys, and we'll be talking about Ms. Marvel. But we were doing one story, and I noticed Chris said it was about, I was showing an elderly woman, and I think I heard Chris say Ujima, which I think is a Korean term for an elder. So I know you're familiar with Korean cinema. Jimbo Lee. Hey, Jimbo Lee, welcome to the stream. Asked, do you have a boyfriend? No, I don't have a boyfriend. And how was your week? And Chris, how was your week? I didn't ask either one of you. I've been doing it all stream, asking people how their week was. Ryan says, Don't Look Now has a great soundtrack. The heavy violin part in Laura's theme is a banger. Oh, there's another one I forgot to mention has a great soundtrack. The original Alien. And also Demons. Demons has a great soundtrack. And Suspiria. Like, there's a bunch of them. Did you know that Demi Moore was on an episode of Tales from the Crypt? I remember her on one, but had to look at the name. It was called Dead Right. I don't remember that one, but let's look it up. Tales from the Crypt. Demi Moore. Dead Right. Can't type today. There she is. Dead Right, Tales from the Crypt. Look like she's either married to, the dude looks like the Penguin. That's unfortunate. Mr. Dan says, Lady Vengeance is one of my favorite Korean films. Great soundtrack too. I've heard of Lady Vengeance actually from Tony Man, because he was the person that told me about Old Boy. And then he told me that there was 2 other movies called like Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and then Lady Vengeance. I don't know the order that they go in though. Asher says Goblin theme for Suspiria. Yes. And I like the little overlays where you can hear someone in the background just saying, witch. Especially the part where she's going from I'm guessing it's the airport, in the taxi to the school, and she's looking over into the woods. That part of the soundtrack really, really sticks out to me for Suspiria. Astrid says, I remember that episode that Demi was in. It has to be one of my favorites. And Night Owl says, it's Lizzie. Yeah, about that little creature. Did you check out the Mexican horror film Cazador de Demonios, 1983, about a demon werewolf? He's actually a Newhall, but there is a scene when a wall collapses of an old church and Satan appears. No, but I will write that down. I need to do more Latin American horror, because there's a couple of slasher movies I heard that recently came out of Brazil. Cazador de Demonios, 1983. Bob says, oh, how are you doing, Bob? How was your week? Monsters was a good follow-up to the Tales from the Dark Side. Mm-hmm. Was the Inside of the Closet like the Pretzel Dude movie? Pretzel Dude. Oh, are you thinking of the TV show? I think you're thinking of Pretzel Jack from what show was that called? I'm gonna put it in here. Pretzel Jack. No, it was, well, I'm probably late to your message there. This is what you're talking about, Pretzel Jack from Channel Zero, Dream Door. No, but this actor, Troy, do they have his last name? I know his nickname is Twisty, but he's been in a lot of horror movies. Like if you ever see somebody bending up backwards or doing contortions, it's usually this actor. I can't remember his last name. I know his first name is Troy. But no, it was that creature. I'm gonna go back a couple paces. Her. Yeah, because at one point I think she had a little dress on. I feel like I remember her wearing a little dress. But yeah, there's some behind the scenes. There's Tom Savini making her. Scatman Carruthers, yes. Yeah, but yeah, there's no reason for him to die in a movie. He didn't die in a book, but you know. I remember an episode in Tales from the Dark Side which ended with a gorilla breaking through a wall and scaring a mother and a child. Scared the F out of me. Can't find it. Does it ring a bell? No, I don't remember that one. But let's see. Let's see what Google says. Gorilla breaks through wall. See what it comes up with. No, not. It's coming up with just like regular gorillas. And then Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, which is a pretty good anthology. I saw that, Tony T, the subtitles were wacky. Did I skip over somebody's comment? Let's see. I thought that's what he was seeing in it. The part 1 remake was an echo of The Fire, Not His Family. But I do think they completely messed up the character in It Chapter 1. He's meant to be the historian, but they made Chubby Boy. Yes, they did. They took a lot of Mike's characteristics and gave them to Ben, which is, I mean, you can't call it anything else but racist because all the other characters are so authentic, like to what was in the book. For you to only mess up one character and the one character just happens to be the black one, I'm looking at you funny. The Night Watch Zone will play Ed Harris bobbing his head on a loop. It's hilarious. Oh, wow. You ever see moments like that and you think, why didn't I think of that? That's a great thought process. I like Night Watch Zone. Search YouTube Don't Let Go song Creep Show for the full song. Maybe somebody made it into a full song. I will do that though, because I will, if I can find that on Spotify, I'm putting it on my playlist because I like dance music. The head member of Goblin died today. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to hear that. Man. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Old Boy, and Lady Vengeance in that order. So I watched the middle one. I watched Old Boy, and I didn't watch Sympathy. I should have watched them in order because the only one I saw was Old Boy, and that one was, wow, I was not ready. I was not prepared. I have not seen the remake, so don't even ask me. I doubt that it will hold up to the original Old Boy. Alternate takes you wish to see one day. Mine are Alex Kintner death in Jaws and spider-like scene in Poltergeist. Was refilmed with Joe Beth going up the wall and ceiling. Let me think of an alternate take that I would want to see. I would want to see all the lost files from Event Horizon. Everything. Because they chopped that movie to shreds and they claim that they can't find the other footage, and it irritates my life. But if you could find that original footage from Event Horizon and do it like the director said, a 3-hour version, that's what I want to see. Bob says, I'm good. I'm excited for my show tomorrow. Oh, what show is your show tomorrow? Bob says, my dad may not be able to get me hash or edibles. Well, hopefully you can get something that will relax you. Use in moderation, because too much of anything is not a good thing. Even water. You could actually overwater yourself to death for drinking too much water. Aster says, Vengeance Trilogy is the name given to the 3 movies that Tony Man 100 is talking about. Thank you. Was Tales from the Dark Side really supposed to be Creepshow 3? I'm not sure. I have heard that rumor too, but I don't know whether it's confirmed or not. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was, if that was the case. The whole 3 minutes of Don't Let Go is on YouTube. I'm listening to it now. Oh, you guys made my day. You don't know how much you made my day. Okay, thank you. Yeah. I should see if it's like unlicensed, because I would love to use that as my intro music. Oh, if I could use that as my intro music without getting dinged for copyright, I'm doing it. Who wishes that Dustin Hoffman starred in some horror movies back in the 1970s? He would have been excellent. I think he would have been. Ryan says, Old Boy, it's awesome. The main character is the serial killer, and I saw the devil. I thought that was the same actor. I was looking at him thinking to myself, I wonder if that's the same guy that played on Old Boy, because they looked similar. The marathon, I can hear somebody playing the Toxic Avenger in the living room from the part in Toxic Avenger when they're in the gym and you could hear the song Body Talk. I think that's what I'm hearing. The Mayor K&M. Hey, shout out K&M. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I saw you earlier, but how was your week? The Marathon Man was sort of horrific. The scene where Dustin has his teeth yanked out is terrifying. I have not seen The Marathon Man, but now I want to see it. Let's see here. Tony T says there was an episode of a guy experimenting with some liquid, and it comes to life on whatever it lands on, and it landed on a magazine of Freddy Krueger. Been trying to find that what show that was. That, Tony, where I would post that question, Reddit. Reddit, somebody there will figure out what it is. What used to be good for these questions is, if you guys remember the forums on IMDb, those used to be the perfect place to ask questions like this, and there would always be someone there that would tell you what movie it was. That's how I figured out Midnight Hour was the movie I was looking for, because all I can remember from when I was a kid was that there was a girl and she was singing Everybody Let's Get Dead, but that's all I can remember about it. And I remember I asked the question on a forum at IMDb, and somebody said, oh, that's Midnight Hour. Starring Sherry Belafonte. Gotta go. Have a good night. You have a good night, Mr. Dan. Thank you for passing by. Bob said it's last podcast live. Is that your show, Bob, that you host? And is that what format is it on? Is it on YouTube? Is it Spotify? Let us know. Plug yourself. Astrid says, what are some of your favorite Korean horror movies? Definitely Train to Busan. That one is amazing. Let me think what else a nice one I watched. I'm thinking more of the TV shows when I first think of Korean horror more than movies. What other Korean movie? Shudder was not Korean. I think that one was Thai. What else? I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm only thinking of Train to Busan, and that's it right now. But I'm sure I'll think of it more later, but I don't know why I can't think of any others. Although this was more of a thriller, but I think my favorite Korean movie of all time is Parasite. Like, that is an amazing movie. And every time I watch it, I notice more and more things. Very, very layered. But I feel bad that I don't know more Korean horror movies, or am I forgetting them? I feel like I know more Japanese movies than Korean horror movies, but I do know more Korean TV shows, because like earlier, I've been covering for this month, I've been working my way through Hellbound, but I paired it with a Japanese TV show, Ju-on, because they're both on Netflix and they both have the same amount of episodes. But after that, I'm going to do Kingdom. I'm going to rewatch these because I've already seen Kingdom and I've already seen Sweet Home. So I'm going to rewatch these. But the ones I really want to get to are on the Viki app. And there's one show, it's a Korean horror drama called Mouse. And there's another one that's called Flower of Evil. Like those, like the horror dramas, horror thriller dramas I'm here for. There's no one topping Korea when it comes to horror thriller dramas. If you have not seen, and I'm saying just watch the first episode. The Viki app, most of this stuff is free on it. And I'm pretty sure you can watch the first episode for free. But Mouse, let me find the artwork so you know what I'm talking about. Let me make this smaller. Okay. Mouse. There's also a movie. There was a drama first, and then there was a movie for Mouse. But the drama series came out first. And both are about murderers. And then Flower of Evil. These are so good. So good. Lots of twists and turns, lots of murder, a little bit of gore. Definitely worth watching. Tony says the cat story from Tales from the Dark Side was supposed to be on Creepshow 2. That's why Tales from the Dark Side. Ah, thank you. That makes sense. Ryan says Straw Dogs and Marathon Man both proved to me that Dustin Hoffman would have been awesome in horror. Was that also Dustin Hoffman? I don't know whether it was him or not. Was that Dustin Hoffman that was in Deliverance? I might be mixing him up with someone else. It was in Straw Dogs. It was in Straw Dogs that is a horror movie. I heard there's a remake to Straw Dogs too, but I haven't seen it. Hello, the first quote from the song on YouTube is Cass, turn that down. Turn it down right now. Thanks, Josh. I'm currently getting blitzed on wine over the current state of the country. Oh, you don't even know. They were on Twitter talking about, they were trying to guess how many years before America fully collapses. And all I can do is watch people get chopped up in movies to make me feel better momentarily. Bob says he was in Straw Dogs. The movie I'm always looking for was part of this weird VHS collection on the 10 best colors and films. And one of the movies that they showed a clip from had a tree lady trying to kill a baby. That's The Guardian. Bob, that movie's The Guardian that you're talking about. Could never figure out what movie that is. Here, I'll show you the poster. Oh, gotta put movie. Forgot there was a newspaper of that. It's this one. The Guardian, 1990. I want to say it was directed by, was it William Peter Blatty? Is this IMDb? Yeah, let me click on it. Who was the director? William Friedkin. I was close. William Friedkin. Yeah, but that's the movie you're looking for. The Guardian. Okay. Marathon Man is a movie where Dustin Hoffman is getting hunted and tortured by a Nazi who played by Laurence Olivier. Roy Schneider from Jaws was in it too. Straw Dog is not a horror movie. It's more of a thriller. Night Owl says, Tony, sounds like it was probably an episode of Freddy's Nightmares. If you're looking, all the first 2 seasons of Freddy's Nightmares, I think there is only 2 seasons, are both on Tubi for free. So you might find it there. I think I read that one. No, it's a show I'm seeing live. Oh, you're going to see a podcast live. Okay, that's cool. How did you like Halloween 3, by the way? And once again, thanks for the ride, lady. I like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Now that I'm an adult, when I was a kid, I was so disappointed that Michael Myers wasn't in it. But as an adult, I like it as its own standalone movie. I really think that it would be known as a classic if they had just named it Season of the Witch. But I do know that John Carpenter wanted the Halloween movies to at one point be like an anthology where each movie is just a different story. But because Season of the Witch underperformed, they went back to the Michael Myers. They have the podcast wherever you find it. Good. A Tale of Two. Yes, that is Korean, isn't it? 3 Extremes is Japanese, isn't it? I think 3 Extremes is Japanese, but A Tale of Two Sisters, that is an amazing movie. The Host, also amazing movie. And I have The Host on DVD. I don't know why I forgot that was Korean, but let me look up 3 Extremes. Three Extremes. Because I want to say it was done by Takashi Miike, right? 3 Extremes, original title. Okay. Using cross culture. You could be right and I could be wrong. Oh, okay, so there's separate directors. Fruit Chan, Park Chan-wook, who I think Park Chan-wook is the one that did Old Boy, right? And Takashi Miike. So it's both Korean and Japanese because Park Chan-wook is clearly Korean, but Takashi Miike is Japanese. So we're both right. Okay, here's a topic people talked about, which is a scarier horror film, The Exorcist or Jaws? That depends on what you're afraid of. I find Exorcist to be more scary to me because supernatural horror is scary to me than nature horror. But some people, especially I've been told people that are specifically not religious at all, they don't find The Exorcist to be scary at all, but they would find Jaws to be more scary. It's a very individual thing because different people are afraid of different things. You got 10 minutes now, 9 before Joe Bob. Yeah, I'm trying to get through the comments because I don't want to skip anyone. Let me stop this so I don't get dinged for copyright. Can I pause that? Oh, there we go. All right. Dustin Hoffman wasn't in Deliverance. Yeah, so it's a guy that looks similar to him. Have you seen Korean horror movies? The host, that's what Tony Man just said. Thirst and Three Extremes. I've seen all those except for Thirst. But I do have Thirst on my watch list. I want to actually pair it with The Hunger. Hey, Terrence, you still up? It's late. I'm glad you passed by, though, to say hello. Still too late for little old me. Got to work tomorrow, but we'll catch the replay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night. K&M says the song Workout from Toxic Avenger is a jam. Do a YouTube search for it and you won't be disappointed. Okay. Workout. All right, y'all are a wealth of information tonight, and I am appreciating it. Ryan says, hands down, The Exorcist is. Let me do like this. Maybe it'll be easier for me to maneuver. Terrence says, thumbs up. Bob says, look at cool. Sounds right. It looks like a 90s film from the clip. Yeah, that's the only movie I can think of where a lady comes out of a tree to get a baby. There's another movie where a lady comes out of a tree, but it's a little girl that she ends up kind of possessing, and that one is called Eyes of Fire. That's from 1982 or 1983. Trust me, when she finally catches up to us, she'll say it. Have you seen Burial Ground and Nights of Terror? Yes, I have. It is one of the best zombies. I could hear the music in my head when the zombies run, except for the only weird thing about it is the little boy that's not played by a little boy. He's played by a grown-ass man. Okay, I might have to prolong this just because I got to show y'all a picture of this little boy who's a grown-ass man. And there's a real creepy scene in it, if I'm thinking of the right movie. Yep. Okay, this is the movie. La Notte del Terror, or Burial Ground, Nights of Terror. This character right here, he plays like was supposed to be like a 12-year-old boy, but he's clearly a little person. That's not a child. And it's real. But I get why they did that, because he does something super creepy that you would not have a child do in a movie. Like, I can't show it to you because it involves nudity. Well, a woman's nudity, not his nudity. But still, I just always remember that was not a kid. Ryan Cannon, correct. Tommy says, I have seen all the episodes of Freddy's Nightmares. It was none of them. Saw the episode on a Sci-Fi channel back in the early 2000s. Not sure what that might have been. Another Creepshow 2 quote, you are one screwed up broad, Mrs. Lansing. That's from Thanks for the Ride, lady. I watched the new season of Umbrella Academy. Surprisingly, this year, it was on par with Doom Patrol and not a lesser copy. Oh, that's good news, because I didn't like the last season of Umbrella Academy. Astrid says, Tony Man, we think alike. Thanks for reminding me that Joe Bob's on. I haven't caught a single episode yet. Yeah, I'm going to have to get off here because he's about to come on. I know he's going to talk for 20 minutes before he starts the movies. But I got to heat up my burrito. I got a microwave burrito from the dollar store. I'm living a fancy life. There's a little boy voiced by a man. I think he was also in some other Italian movies. Yeah, Bob, that little actor, he was in House by the Cemetery. He's in Demons, and he's in it's a third movie, Beyond the Door. And he's I think it's an adult woman that voices Bob. And Bob says, no, I'm thinking of the boy from House by the Cemetery and Beyond. Yeah, it's the same little boy. He also played Bob. I mean, he played Bob in House by the Cemetery. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Remember that movie with the girl that was actually a woman? Oh, Orphan. There's supposed to be her sequel keeps getting pushed back. There's supposed to be Orphan First Kill coming out, but they keep pushing back the release date, so I don't know when we're gonna get that. So awesome that I can't remember the name. Yeah, Orphan. All right, I'm gonna get out of here now. Astrid says, "Night, guys. Joe Bob is coming on." Same here. I'm about to get out of here. So let me pull up my outro and end this stream. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing again. That's me. Yep, I can hear Joe Bob's wheels screeching from the car. All right, now I'm finally getting out of here. Let me play my outro music. Thank y'all so much for coming. Oh, I got one more comment before I get out of here. Let me see what the last comment is. Fun fact, long-haired Indian villain in Creepshow 2 is the amazing actor Holt McCallany from the Netflix Mindhunter, which was canceled too soon. Thank you. I have to check that out because I always remember him because he's always like, see this is going to get me famous in Hollywood. Tony says, these open discussions are awesome. Good night. Good stream. Thank you. Later. Good night. Good night, everybody. And now I'm out of here.
Hey, 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 hey.